Universal is now testing a single ride express pass option for select attractions.
So last week, there were signs outside of Revenge of the Mummy and Skull Island Reign of Kong. And it said you can purchase a skip the line pass one time for that attraction. And you just scan the QR code to purchase basically on the app. The cost was $29.99 or $26.62 with tax. So basically this is a single pass like Disney does, but it's just for this one ride on this one attraction. Now back in May, Universal Hollywood offered the Select Express Pass over there, and that was good for 3 of their popular attractions for $35. So they are definitely testing these different options out to see what's going to work better. But there are, I want to look at the regular and unlimited Express Pass options to see like how they compare.
Well, I think first thing that's going to stick out to this is, first off, it's a test. And they even said it's a test. The 2 attractions that they're doing this on are not rides in which you would really need it necessarily or be high in demand, which is Revenge of the Mummy and Skull Island Reign of Kong. And I'd be very curious. I mean, I'm sure some people have purchased it, but I don't think most people are looking to spend, let's say you have a family, like 2 people want to ride it. Are you willing to spend $50 to ride Revenge of the Mummy a little quicker? Like, I don't know. So go ahead.
I was going to say, well, if you look at one time, like one park, one time, so not like a limited pass for Express, the prices start at $119 per person.
Right.
So you could do all of the rides for less than that per ride. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be less than $25 if you look at it that way. Unlimited is more obviously, and that's only for Universal and Islands, those 2 parks, and that starts at $150 per day per park, or like for the one park, and obviously it goes up from there. So just looking price wise, like to compare, $25 to ride Reign of Kong is a no from me, dog.
Right. And I think that's how most people stand. I think what they're doing is exploring, because obviously when you have Express Pass, and I do think Express Pass works the best out of the skip the line options out of most theme parks because there's not as many of them out there, but it's higher priced. Yeah. So unless you're paying a higher price or you stay in one of the hotels where it's included, it's going to cost you a little bit more. But they're looking for that demand of, there are people that may not want to spend $100 and some odd for the Express Pass, but they would be willing to spend maybe $25 to ride, say, Hagrid's or Velocicoaster and rides like that.
But would they price it at $25
well,
for
and
Hagrid's?
that's the thing about this, that is a little interesting and also terrifying in many ways, because and I say terrifying in that if they're pricing Reign of Kong and Revenge of the Mummy at $25 for one ride, obviously you would assume that Hagrid's would be much higher, given that is a much more in demand ride. Now, I've talked before about Disney with the multi-pass and single pass options there. Disney currently, when it comes to Rise of the Resistance, is the most expensive one they have, and that one's at $25. And obviously, I think you would argue Rise of the Resistance is much higher demand versus, say, Reign of Kong, right? Like that. So I think, are they going to go first off, it's a test. So I think they're pricing it where they're pricing it here on these 2 rides, and maybe it's a way to test the system, how it affects those lines. If you think about it, like it's the same when you roll out, say, mobile ordering. At any of the parks that do this, they don't roll it out at all the restaurants all at once. It's like one restaurant at a time, because you're going to have issues pop up, and you can single it down to a single restaurant and solve those issues. So if you're testing out, okay, how does a single pass option impact express lines, it makes a lot of sense to test that on Revenge of the Mummy or Reign of Kong, because then you have a smaller pool of people already, and then you can see how that does impact those wait times. Because you also have to balance this out with, yes, there's probably going to be demand for people that were saying, hey, I don't want to spend $200 or whatever it is for Express Pass because I want to ride Hagrid's, but I would spend $50 or $25 to go ride Hagrid's one time quicker.
Yeah.
So, but you also want to know, how's that going to impact the Express Pass line, the people that paid all that money. So it makes sense to do it on a more mid-tier type of attraction. The only thing that worries me is if now, unless they keep this as a flat rate on whichever rides they offer this at, it's just $25 flat. Okay, like that's in line kind of with what Disney is sort of set up here. But if Universal goes, let's say $50 for Hagrid's, I think very quickly you would see Disney probably be like, oh, we can go a lot higher on ours too.
Yeah.
And then usually Disney's the one that kind of sets the higher prices and everybody else follows. You could see Universal kind of doing that, and I could see Disney coming, behind that and pricing theirs a bit higher because they'd be like, oh, there is ceiling in here to raise this higher.
Right.
But their multi-pass is also lower too.
Right.
So they're
Right.
a little bit different system. But that is the big question with this because, I mean, obviously, I think Hagrid's, Velocicoaster probably.
Green Gods maybe.
You can see Green Gods. You could see maybe for I don't know, for Forbidden Journey more. I don't think that's really up there. Obviously, you have rides in Epic Universe. That could possibly be on a list for this, but that park already has wait time issues, so I would assume you would not do it there. But again, they do have Express Pass there.
Well, and I don't think they'll do anything with the Express Pass until much later, until everything calms down with the newness of it. Because right now it's just one time only per ride. There's no unlimited option for Epic.
Right, but you could see them introduce a single pass.
I mean, okay, so
because they'd make a bunch of money on Battle of the Ministry.
Okay, so that was my question. So if they were doing Battle of Ministry single Express Pass, how much as a person that, let's say that you worked at Epic, let's say, how would you price that?
Well, that's the question. I mean, you're talking Epic's Express Passes are north $200 most days. So yeah. I think you could I think there would be demand for people saying, would you pay $50 to ride Battle of the Ministry? I think you do have a lot of people that would.
Yeah.
And I think if there's a similar amount of people that would probably for Hagrid's.
Yeah.
So I think Universal could go a bit steeper here on the single pass ones, given where they have priced Express Pass and they don't have that middle tier option. Disney has the Premier Pass, which they kind of ripped off of Universal there. And then they also have the multi-pass. So like Disney kind of is capped on how high they can take the single pass ones. But Universal really has never explored this sort of middle ground. It's either you don't have any Express Pass or you splurge and get it. So I think they are trying to, first off, they're trying to find a new revenue stream. So
For sure.
So I think from the feedback I have seen, I think there's legitimately a good amount of people that if you said $50 for Hagrid's or $50 for Battle of the Ministry or $50 for Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, I think there's people that would pay that.
You know what? I mean, I'm guessing that they'll eventually test something like this. So
for sure,
I'm sure we'll find out.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and it also could be a test, and they don't roll this out till later. They did test it during a very busy time, so that is one thing. That was one of the days they tested this. Whenever there was a line, like all the way out into City Walk to get into studios.
Jeez.
And so it was during what was the recent holiday? Maybe in Columbus.
Labor Day?
Maybe in Columbus Day.
Oh, yeah. That's like mid-October.
Yeah, I think it was around Columbus Day. So sometimes they do stuff like this, really, really busy times. They kind of do, like they've used facial recognition before when using like Express Pass lines and things like that. So could be something they're just playing with, but I'm not going to be surprised within the next little bit or a year or two, something like that, where you do see some sort of single pass option come available. And then I think it would just be how many do they sell? Because obviously that's going to give you more Express Passes out there. But they also would have I'm supposing here this is not based on a reservation. Because I don't think they're wanting to do like Disney where you have to be on your phone and have more stuff that requires that. They kind of lean more toward the simplicity of things. So then that would give you more Express Passes out there. So you don't want to have too many of these middle tier ones either that would impede the Express Pass lines and the standby lines. So it's all a balancing act, I'm assuming here.
Sure.
But I think they probably will do it.
Yeah, I think so.
So we will see on that one, but I'm hoping that doesn't cause a yet another battle war between pricing things even higher, but it could. We will see on that. But